I think Coach said it best. When we were in the pandemic, like not preparing for a season, things were very laxed. And I think we kind of not lost the physicality, but like kind of tuned it down. And that was the biggest thing I seen in my game, like the difference in my game from 2019 to the spring scrimmages. I lost a little bit of physicality. So that was my biggest approach this summer, just gaining that physicality back. And now going through camp, I feel like I've gained it back and I got that confidence and that grit back, getting ready for a season. And I feel like the offensive line as a whole has done a great job we did a great job of working that in the summer, emphasizing that in the summer and applying it in camp. I think we all work well together. We all have pretty good friendships and relationships, and that's really all it takes on the offensive line. Just one group with one goal, knowing each other, trusting each other, respecting each other, and going out and getting it done as one, not as five. So I think we've done pretty well with whoever's in the lineup, just rolling and doing what we have to do.
Seems like the offensive line is as deep as it's been, and you guys maybe have as much size as you've been.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel that?
Oh, for sure.
Have a good year because of all that?
For sure, since I've been here, this is the biggest and the most depth we've had. Like we've been resting well during this camp. It's lovely. I'll say that. I mean,
I know you're
not really, but yes, like they're Northwest. Like they're the big dogs. They have 6 national championships. Like they're ranked number 4 in the country. How can you not like put more emphasis on them than the other teams? But I will say, as far as game planning goes, they're one of the more simple teams when it comes to the mental part of the game. But the physical part of the game is where you have to show up and you have to compete with them every play. So I think that's been the biggest emphasis for us as a group going into this week with our game plan, just making sure like we're not soft. You can't be soft. You can't beat them being soft. You won't beat them being soft all the time. It's just, and like you said, like some of you guys haven't played since high school. Some of you guys haven't started in a game since they've been here, and you kind of have to like remind them of what's going on and what's about to take place because it's the first game of the season. Usually we catch them on the back end when they're like week 10, week 11, but it's the season opener this year. So we can't ease into it. We can't ooze into it. We have to be ready from set go. Let's do it. Well, so the thing was, they would have been the opener last year. So we've been prepared for this for 2 years. So it was let's do it. We lost to them in double overtime in 2019. They ended our season. So I was ready for it.
They're just so good.
I think they recruit personnel pretty well. They get their guys in that do what they want them to do every play. I think the best thing about Northwest is they're pretty consistent play in and play out with what they do. They don't change up much, and I think they recruit their guys well. Chance Fuller, he's the guy. He's amazing. You just having that guy behind you, it makes you go harder. I'll tell you that. Like he's the most outside of football. He's the most genuine, kind-hearted guy I've ever met. I've ever been around, and he's just a great leader. And he's like I said, he's a guy that makes everyone around him better. And moreover on Chance, just having Vashawn Waiters behind him is another great attribute to our offense and to our team because both of those guys are great quarterbacks and great leaders. I say you take Vashawn to, 8 or 9 of the other teams in the conference and he's a starter. So just having him on our roster, pushing Chance every day and the relationship they have, it just makes our offense great. When he first stepped in, he was more of a like, do as I do, not as I say type leader. Like he do everything right and you follow the leader. But he's definitely growing to that vocal leader standpoint and he's making his voice heard more on the field and making people feel him more. So that's the biggest difference I've seen in his maturation. I've had to become more vocal too. I've always been like I'm gonna do me and like you guys should follow me because I'm gonna do it the right way. But now I've had to learn like these kids are different. Like these younger guys are kind of different. The guys that I followed and that led me, like they didn't have to talk to me as much because like that was the program when we came in. Like you did what you seen, but now these kids are coming in a little different, so you have to get on them a little bit.
Kids.
Yeah, I'm kind of old. I'm getting pretty old. Yeah, you got to stay even, Kill. I think you kind of got to have that edge and that readiness to play and get after it, but you also got to remember that you have an assignment. Like you can't just go out and forget your assignment because you want to run through a wall. And that's the biggest thing, like getting these kids evened out to where they can do their assignment but run through the wall at the same time. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's going to be amazing. The atmosphere is going to be great. We're going to have the parking lot is going to be filled with tailgaters. It's just going to be a great atmosphere for football. Like when you think of football games, you want that. That's the pressure you want. You want to have to perform well in front of everybody. You want that pressure on you. And if you don't, you shouldn't be playing football, honestly.